Hi, I'm Joe Hosey with your Seaman Viking News. Tonight we have lots of great stories, so let's get started. Beginning teachers have to learn somewhere. College students from around the area are assigned to Seaman High as student teachers. Jared Roberts and Ryan McNeve talked with student teacher Miss Chase.
There are a lot of new faces around Seaman High School this year. One of them is Miss Jennifer Chase. Miss Chase is a student teacher for Miss Welch from Washburn University. She will be helping Miss Welch with her PE classes for the rest of this semester.
What do I like about what I teach, Jim? I like it because it's a lot of movement, it's hands-on, it's not sitting behind a desk, boring schoolwork. You're constantly doing something. I also like the fact that people are getting in shape while they're doing it. It's because obesity is definitely on the rise, and this is a good way to get people to maybe find a sport that they can do for the rest of their life or an activity.
What are your goals for this year?
My goals for this year, well, I'm only here till the 8th. But I implemented a behavior chart to try to get the kids to stay on behavior, or to stay on their like cooperation with the kids, equipment care, just their overall attitude. So as for a goal, I just want the class to stay involved, everyone to have a good time and do as best they can. Teaching is important for a lot of reasons. You really can't go anywhere unless you know things, and the only way that you can learn things is by being taught it. You can't just one day wake up and have the knowledge. You've got to have somebody teach it to you. So teaching is important to learn things. Seaman's a really good school. You guys have a nice district. I've been to a lot of different schools where the kids are just terrible and stuff. Everyone overall is nice. Teachers, even the principal seems pretty nice. I haven't got to talk to him too much, but so yeah. And about me, I am awesome.
She teaches volleyball and tennis, and I don't know, it's pretty fun in that class. You get to mess around a lot and goof off, and then you can take it half, not go all out and still make a pretty good grade. Have some fun.
Miss Chase has made an interesting addition to the Seaman High School staff so far this fall. We have enjoyed having her around.
Another new member of the Seaman staff for 2004 is Miss Schmidt, our new principal. Rachel Myers and Deborah Thompson talked with her about how the year was going.
Here at Seaman High School, we have a new vice principal, Miss Schmidt. Let's go talk to her and see what her job's about. Kansas and attended Thomas More Prep Marian High School. She earned her Bachelor of Science in English Education from Kansas State University in 1993 and completed her major science in Educational Administration and Leadership.
I like working with students. I like seeing them involved in activities and taking a part in their school and taking pride in their community. My goals for this year is to strengthen our already strong activity program, to see as many students as possible involved in activities, and to recognize the students who are doing such. Actually, we've been in school for 6 weeks now, and it seems to have gone very quickly and very successfully, and I'm really enjoying living here.
If you see Miss Schmidt in the hallway, make sure you say hi.
Teachers at Seaman are always challenging students. Spanish teacher Miss Williams assigned a project about Spanish culture centering around the Spanish celebration of the Day of the Dead. Casey Hughes got to find out about ofrendas, or memorials of the dead.
With the second quarter rapidly underway, Senora Williams, the Spanish teacher here at Seaman High School, assigned the students a project, and this is where it all happened. Let's take a look. This class couldn't have been more excited to start their project, which are also called ofrendas. Here is Senora Williams to give you a little more information.
I have my students create their own shoebox altars in order for them to understand the true meaning behind a Mexican holiday called Day of the Dead, El Dia de los Muertos. It's often confused with Halloween, but it's much more like Memorial Day. My classes have been completing this assignment for about 3 years now.
Rebecca McAndrew and Adriana Rollins couldn't have picked a more familiar face, Mr. Elvis Presley.
We did Elvis Presley, and he died on August 16th, 1977. He was born in Mississippi. He had a twin brother that was a stillborn, so Elvis was an only child growing up. His favorite food was peanut butter and banana sandwich, and fried tomato sandwiches and cheddar cheese potato chips.
Some students took a different approach and gave their project a little bit of excitement.
This ofrenda it's on Payne Stewart. And He was a professional golfer, as we all know. And his dad was actually an amateur golfer, had won 3 PGA Tours. He actually has over 11 PGA Tours under his belt. Can you believe that? That's pretty good. He died in a plane wreck on October 26th, 1999.
All in all, Senor Williams' 6-hour class had an awesome time learning about the Spanish culture and working on their ofrendas.
Not everyone who plays on a sports team can be a starter or a star. Second-team players and backups play an important role too. The Seaman football team has a special player that works hard to be a part of the Seaman football squad.
Football is a brutal game, yet such a passion for many young high school students. They look forward to the hype of the Friday night games and the attention in the spotlight. They look forward to the press and cool nicknames like the Tank and the Destroyer. They hit hard, they smell, and they love the attention. Yeah, what about the players who don't get under the spotlights, who don't have a cool nickname and don't get the attention that the starters do? Those on the sidelines. What is their motive for working just as hard for a fraction of the credit?
Well, the football players that don't get as much action on Friday nights or even Monday nights for the JV games they're a huge part of our team. And we like to use the analogy of an iceberg that, you know, you've got this little part of the iceberg that sticks out of the water, but the majority of the iceberg is underneath the water, the part that you can't see. And so we try to tell those guys that don't get as much playing time that they're like the base of the iceberg that kind of supports everything else.
One such example of a dedicated member from the base of the iceberg is senior Barry Cowan. He's dedicated himself since 7th grade for a spot on the team, yet he has yet to play in a varsity game since entering high school.
Football's always been, I've always been around football. When I was a little kid, my dad was a coach. And as I grew up, my dad got out of being a coach, but I've still been around it. I started my 7th grade year and I've just continued.
One has to wonder why Barry continues playing for the team when he gets no playing time.
What football does to me and why I do it always is I've always had fun was the biggest thing. And now as you get older and like that, you have to, I did it this year because I'm going to miss it next year. It's just one thing you can't do.
With such passion for the game, what does Barry bring to the team?
I bring leadership and experience from past. This will be my 4th year of doing it, and I've always been part of Seaman football.
With a strong leader in Barry, we talked to underclassman Robert Reed to see why he looks up to him.
I respect Barry a lot, especially for him not being able to play on his senior year. I don't think I'd be able to do that, but I hope I like Barry and be a good sport and keep on working hard like he does when I'm a senior.
What about the top of the iceberg? What are their feelings about Barry?
Barry's just an all-around great guy. He tries his hardest out there and he sticks with all the sports. Through thick, through thin, he just gives 100%. Just tries to do his best and make the team better. He's a real team player.
Barry puts up with a lot of stuff that if I was in his position, I probably wouldn't be able to put up with, and I respect him for that, and I'm glad he does put up with it and stay out with the team.
Our football players, they respect Barry, and they know that, you know, he's not the most talented player, but he's still out there every day, and he practices every day, and he practices hard. And I think our kids understand that takes a lot of courage and a lot of strength to be able to come out there and know that you're not going to get a lot of action, but still go through all of the stresses of practice that everyone else has to go through. And so I really believe that they do respect Barry, and they do get on Barry too, because they expect Barry to be part of our team also. So we don't let any member of our family, you know, slack off at all.
There's an iceberg, and how one person at the base can mean the difference between winning a game from when you're a star, play like a quarterback, running back. They're the top of the iceberg, but if you don't have the base, you just fall away and crumble.
Homecoming was a great weekend for celebration of Seaman High School traditions. One tradition is to take a look back at the King and Queen candidates as they are growing up. That is all for this evening. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to tune in for the rebroadcast of this show on Sunday evening at 6. Have a great week.